Well, it's the 1st of January 2023, and this is the first time travel story in my new series. Just one second. Unknown Mysteries. 1 second. Well, here's the story. Just 1 second.
One day in 1935, Victor Goddard, a commander from British Royal Air Force, was flying to Edinburgh, and during the flight, he passed over a decrepit airfield in Dermatology, Scotland. All that Goddard saw from above was a lonely farm and some cattle. A few days later, on his way back to England, he took the same route. However, his plane was caught in a storm, and with all the whirling and swinging going on, the pilot got so disoriented that he lost control of the machine for some minutes. Fortunately, the storm ended as unexpectedly as it started. He regained control, and was hoping to be able to get the plane back on the right track by following some familiar landmarks on the ground. He looked down expecting to see Dermatology Airfield as he sensed he was approaching it, but what he saw left him totally flabbergasted. The airfield was renovated, 4 brand new planes painted yellow sat on the runway, and some mechanics in blue overalls were attending to them. All of a sudden, the storm hit back again, and rainy clouds swamped Goddard's machine. The guy got lucky once again, and managed to land safely at his home base. His friends back then were very skeptical about this incredible story, but 40 years later, convinced as he was about what he saw, Victor Goddard retold the story in detail in a book which was published under the title Flight Towards Reality.
What a story! What a story! Next up, story 2. Story 2. A Benedictine monk invents the chronovisor and witnesses Christ's crucifixion. Just stay tuned.
Of all believers on the face of the earth, there was one person who, we bet, never had even the slightest whiff of doubt about Christ's existence. Father Pellegrino Anetti was a Roman Catholic Benedictine monk who claimed to have observed the Last Supper and later watched Christ dying on the cross. The device he was using was a self-crafted chronovisor, i.e. a kind of time machine that enables you to follow past events in real time. In 1997, Peter Krasser published a book about the monk's life and invention. The biography included also an appendix with an excerpt from an allegedly lost play by Quintus Ennius, which Father Anetti insisted to have attended during one of his time travels with the chronovisor. Of course, Anetti was pressured to produce some evidence in support of his claims. But when he produced a photo of Jesus on the cross, supposedly taken through the device, everybody recognized a striking resemblance to a piece of art by Cullert Valera. Anetti then had no other choice but to admit the photo was fake. However, till the end of his life in 1994, he never took his words back about the existence of the chronovisor.
Wow! Wow, can you imagine that? Wow! Stay tuned for story 3, the last story. Well, this is story 3 of the Unknown Mysteries, the last story of the first episode. So just 1 second and we'll get to it. Right. Here we go. Just 1 second.
The year was 1979. 2 British couples were driving through northern France on their way to Spain, looking for a place to spend the night. Eventually, they drove to a building that looked like a motel, only the men standing in front of it smoking hurried to inform them it was an inn. As everything inside the inn seemed pretty old-fashioned, no phones, and no other modern conveniences whatsoever, the tourists logically concluded it had to be an attraction, a theme hotel of some sort that was supposed to make the guests feel as if they were in the 19th century. During breakfast the next morning, they were attended by 2 men in caped uniforms with a solemn expression on their faces. After paying the ridiculously small bill of 19 francs, the couples left for Avignon. After 2 weeks in Spain, they decided to follow the same route on their journey back, and to stay at the same motel, not only because it was so cheap, but also because they enjoyed the out-of-date atmosphere. Imagine their confusion when they found the exact spot, but the building wasn't there. And the photos they had taken during their stay at the hotel didn't develop.
Wow, well there you go. That's the third story on this episode of Unknown Mysteries. Check out episode 2 coming soon.